Emmanuel Macron has ignited a row with the UK over post-Brexit fishing rights for his own personal gain ahead of the presidential elections in France. A UK fishing chief has said, France has launched a series of blistering attacks over post-Brexit fishing licenses and even threatened to blockade vital ports and cut off energy supplies to the UK. French officials argue the UK has not processed enough applications in order for EU fishermen to land in British waters inside the 6-12-mile economic zone off the coast of the UK and Jersey. Brexit Minister Lord David Frost has this week fired back at claims of wrongdoing and insisted the UK government has implemented the Trade and Cooperation Agreement, TCA, in good faith. His response has since been backed up by one of the UK's leading fishing chiefs, Barry Dees, CEO of the National Federation of Fishermen's Organisations, NFFO, pointed out the new regulations brought forward after the 31st of December, 2020, which mean EU vessels now have to prove they have a history of landing in UK waters. Mr. Dees added President Macron is escalating the issue in order to woo the votes of French fishermen ahead of the election next April. The 43-year-old leader of the La République En Marche party is seeking a second term in power and faces a tight race against his right-wing rival Marine Le Pen. Mr. Dees told Daily Express, "As far as I can see, the UK authorities are implementing the Trade and Cooperation Agreement in the way it was intended. Evidence is required that each vessel fishing inside the UK 6-12 meter limit. The French industry doesn't like and or accept that there has been a movement away from the pre-Christmas status quo. The French government is escalating the issue because a presidential election is looming and the votes of coastal fishermen could be critical. The European Commission is currently working to find a solution to the row over the implementation of the EU trade deal. But Mr. Dees believes the bloc will be unwilling to support the threats of retaliation issued by France towards the UK. He said, any retaliatory actions by the EU would have to be agreed by all member states and there is no sign that many want to go out on a limb with France. The measures would, according to the TCA, would have to be proportionate. Switching off electricity supplies would not be proportionate. French fishermen in the Boulogne-Sur-Mer region have been carrying the fight to the UK and have vowed to blockade the port of Calais and Channel Tunnel if licenses are not issued. France's Europe Minister Clement Beaune insisted the trade deal should be implemented fully and that if it is not, we will take European or national measures to exert pressure on the UK. He added, the UK depends on our energy exports. They think they can live alone while also beating up on Europe and, given that it doesn't work, they engage in aggressive one-upmanship. A threat to halt energy supplies to Jersey, which receives 95% of its electricity from France, was also issued in May and French vessels let off flares at the port of the British territory. The latest escalation was sparked after the UK government announced in September that it has approved just 12 of the 47 applications it had received from French small boats. Jersey then added fuel to the fire when it said of the 170 license applications it had received from French boats 75 had been rejected. Lord Frost addressed the spat with France at a fringe event at the Tory party conference this week. The Brexit negotiator said the UK has been extremely generous to France since the UK left the EU common fisheries policy and took back control of its waters. Lord Frost added it was unreasonable to suggest the UK had not stuck to the trade deal, which reduces EU quotas and UK waters by 25% over the next 5 years. Lord Frost said, I do think it is important to keep things in proportion. We have granted 98% of the license applications from EU boats to fish in our waters according to the different criteria in the Trade and Cooperation Agreement, so we do not accept that we are not abiding by that agreement. We have been extremely generous, and the French focusing in on a small category of boats and claiming we have behaved unreasonably I think is not really a fair reflection of the efforts we have made. We would have liked a different sort of fisheries deal out of the TCA. We get control of our waters eventually, but we agreed this deal and we are implementing it in good faith. So I think it is unreasonable